You know, every single home has a secret life. Behind the walls, under the floors, there are systems you rarely see that are fighting a constant battle. Today, we're going to dive into this hidden world by looking at the unique challenges facing homes in one specific Texas city.
Just think about it for a second. Beyond the normal wear and tear, what are the invisible forces putting your home to the test? It might be the weather, maybe the age of the building, or, well, it could be something else entirely.
For the homes in this particular community, the main adversary isn't a storm or a flood, it's the very soil they're built on. And this makes for a really fascinating case study in how local geology wages this silent war on our homes.
So let's start from the ground up, literally. The first conflict in our story kicks off with two powerful natural forces that are constantly at work right under your feet. This really illustrates a fascinating two-front battle. On one side, you've got the caliche soil of the Edwards Plateau. Now, when it rains, this soil swells up and shifts, literally bending and stressing pipes until they crack. Then, on the other side, the water flowing through the pipes comes from the hard water of the Canyon Lake aquifer, and it slowly chokes the system from the inside out with mineral deposits. It's this relentless attack from both the outside and the inside.
And the real-world impact is pretty severe. This isn't some slow, gentle process. That ground movement has enough force to literally snap heavy cast iron and pull apart sewer lines. It's a huge risk, especially for older homes built with more vulnerable materials.
But, the ground isn't the only enemy here. The wider environment adds its own layers of pressure, both literally and figuratively, and that just compounds the problem over time.
And time is an absolutely crucial factor. Universal City saw a ton of growth in the mid-20th century, and the plumbing they installed back then is simply wearing out. Those old galvanized steel pipes, the kind that were common before 1990, are now corroding from the inside, and that's creating a ticking clock for thousands of homeowners. What's really crucial here is that these failures are predictable. It's almost a formula. You take the intense Texas heat and combine it with that hard water, and boom, a water heater's lifespan is cut down to just 8 to 12 years. The old supply lines fail, and you can even get what are called slab leaks, where copper pipes laid in the concrete foundation just corrode and develop these tiny little pinhole leaks.
Okay, so that's the problem. It's a big one. But how do you fight back against geology and time? Well, it turns out there's a rule book, a whole set of scientific principles designed to make these plumbing systems resilient. So, here's a question for you. When you're running a drain line, can you just make a sharp right-angle turn? It seems simple enough, right? But the answer actually reveals a core principle of plumbing design.
And the answer is no, you can't, or at least not in a horizontal pipe. There's what's called the 135-degree rule, a building code standard. It means you have to use gentler turns, like putting two 45-degree fittings together. So why? Well, because a sharp 90-degree turn just kills the momentum of the water, causing all the solids to drop out and create a clog. It's all about harnessing the physics of flow.
Here's another magic number for you, 40 to 60 psi. That is the ideal water pressure in your home, 40 to 60 pounds per square inch. Once it gets up above 80 psi, it's like putting your entire system on high alert. It stresses all the joints, the fixtures, the appliances, and leads to everything failing way ahead of schedule.
And honestly, it doesn't get more fundamental than this. For wastewater to drain the way it's supposed to, it needs a little help from gravity. A slope of just 1/4 of an inch for every foot of pipe is the minimum you need to give the water enough velocity to carry solids away and keep those lines clear. It's a really simple but elegant solution.
So when things do go wrong, the solution isn't just guesswork. It's a methodical process. First, you have to find the real source of the problem. Second, you fix it correctly, using the right materials and following all those rules we just talked about. And third, you test everything to make sure the repair was successful and the battle is actually won.
So why did we just go so deep into the pipes of Universal City? Because these hidden battles are happening everywhere, and understanding them is what empowers you as a homeowner.
So here's what you need to remember. Your home isn't static. It's a dynamic system, always changing. Your local environment, the soil, the water, it matters a lot. If you live in an older home, just be aware that its systems have a finite lifespan. And those seemingly boring building codes, they are your absolute best friend, designed to keep things working. And finally, recognizing the early warning signs, like a suddenly high water bill or a weird warm spot on the floor, that can be the key to preventing a total catastrophe.
So we'll leave you with this question to think about. The plumbing in your walls is just one example. What other hidden, complex systems are working perfectly right now to keep your world comfortable, safe, and just moving forward? It's really something worth thinking about.